Well, here's how it happened. As I went out and went to high schools, last year around this time, what I heard from a lot of coaches, it would be so great if we could get state championships at one or two locations. So we have Central Connecticut State and we have the Rent this year. And I was like, well, why don't we do that? I mean, that's what everyone does,
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's that simple, Coach.
That's what you're supposed to do,
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again this week to the Meat Grinder, your weekly dose, or is it daily now, high school football podcast in Connecticut. And I am your host, Sean Patrick Bowley. With me, as always, is Pete Paguaga. Welcome, Pete, to a very special edition, a championship edition of the Meat Grinder. We got a special one.
Yeah, this is a special episode, kind of a shot in the dark, interview request that I sent out last week, thinking, hey, this would be cool if it happened, and it did. So I'm really excited about this one.
That's right, Pete. It's Jim Mora, football coach of the UConn football team. They're going bowling this year. They're hosting championships. We'll jump right in and just talk all football, all things UConn, and how he's been able to turn this program around in a year. The top players, especially the Connecticut players, he's got Victor and Jackson Mitchell on the team, and just his general philosophy and how he's been able to do all this stuff. I'm very excited to have him. Pete, let's without further ado, let's go right to it. What do you think?
I think so. I think people are going to enjoy this one.
Joining us on the show, a very special guest on a very special Meat Grinder. It is the head football coach of the University of Connecticut, Jim Mora. I should say a bowl-bound coach of the UConn Huskies. Jim Mora joins us. Thanks, Coach, for giving us a little time here. Big, exciting weekend. We got a lot of UConn stuff going on, a lot of high school stuff going on. I mean, is there any better time to be a coach in Connecticut than right now, huh?
No, we got a lot going on. We got UConn men's basketball tomorrow. We got the state championships. We got us preparing for bowl game. We had the women play last night. There's a lot of good stuff going on around town right now.
Yeah, when you took over this job, 14 months ago, and you guys went right to work. You guys were everywhere. Your assistant, your new staff was at semifinal games, Thanksgiving games, playoff games, semifinal games, championship games. You are from out west. You've coached, all over this country, and all of a sudden you're coming to Storrs, Connecticut. Did you envision this kind of, fan support and just energy in a small state like Connecticut?
Yeah, I did. I hoped for it. And, last year when I first got here, I wasn't coaching the team. I was observing. So I was able to get out more. And it was really important to do that and try to get a feel for the state and the people of the state and what was important to them and what they wanted in their football team. This year's been a little bit more difficult to make as many appearances, like you said, at the semifinal games and, the Thanksgiving game, because we've had the chance to, get to a bowl. So we're practicing and we're preparing and we don't have as much time on our hands, which I think is a good thing, but, it doesn't allow us the time to get out as much as we'd like to. But yeah, I felt like immediately people were responding to what we were doing. And I think they wanted to be recognized. And I think that it's important that they're recognized and that they realize how important it is for this team, Connecticut football team to respect and honor and like and want to be involved in everything that's going on in this state with regards to football and other sports.
Coach, what did you know about Connecticut and the football program here, and what did you hear anything like what are you going to that school for? It's like last chance you over there. They've been terrible for a few years, and what are you doing, Coach? But you take the job anyway, and you come here. And what did you hear about what needed to be done, and what did you hear about the community that surrounds it?
Well, I did hear a lot of why are you taking that job? What are you doing? But I knew what I was doing and I knew why I wanted to take it. And I loved the challenge. I loved the opportunity. I spent time in this area because I was with ESPN for several years. And so I was back here a lot. I'd been on this campus. I knew this area, fairly well. My dad used to coach for the Patriots, so I spent time up in New England, Boston, Foxborough, that area. And I knew I liked it back here, and I knew this was just a special place and the right place for me. And people that asked me, why are you taking that job? I didn't feel like I had to explain or justify. I'm like, let me tell you why. I'm not justified, but I'm telling you, great people, great facilities, great support, great opportunity, great challenge. I get to live right across the street from campus. I got a great group of kids. I get to hire a great coaching staff. Shoot, I got support from the governor to the president of the school to our athletic director, and fans that they want to win. And we know this: if we win and we put a good team on the field that's exciting to watch, people are going to show up and support this team, because you see it in basketball. I mean, you just see it in hockey. You see it in baseball. You see it with Connecticut sports. And so our job is to make sure that we're putting a team on the field that people want to support, that they want to go to the games, they're excited to see.
What did you learn? What did you learn from going to the games last year, the high school games? It was you. I remember meeting your coach, Coach Hilliard, at the championships last year. We know John. We've known Johnny Morelli for years down here, and he's a big face in Connecticut high school football. But what did you learn about maybe the culture of football in this state from going and attending those games?
Well, there's a long storied history, that people are proud of their football, that it's important to them, and that there's quality football, and it's kind of a little hidden gem here in our nice little state. And I mean, like, when I went to the Thanksgiving Day game last year, like, that was really cool. Like, that was cool. I mean, I'm sitting there, and it's Thanksgiving, and it's like 12:30, and it's a little bit, crisp out, and the smell in the air, and these players just having like the time of their life out there playing. And that's like, that's the roots of it all. And I learned that even though I think when people think of Connecticut, people like that aren't from back here, the Connecticut, if you say Connecticut, the first thing they probably think about is women's basketball, right? Especially if you're talking about sports. Well, what I found is that, it's not just women's basketball. I mean, there's true passion for football and every other sport, and people are into it, man. That's the kind of environment you want to be in.
Coach, tell me about the relationship here with the high schools. And, there are a lot of kids. I mean, you look out around the landscape, you see a lot of Connecticut kids, playing at, FBS schools, quarterbacks, Tyler Van Dyke, Will Levis, Drew Pine. I mean, just to name a few guys. And I know it's been always kind of a contentious thing. You don't want to take every player from Connecticut. You want to go out and find some other guys too. But what is in your view, UConn's role? What should it be with the local guys? Should UConn be involved in every kid in the state, or is it, at least some of it? Or I don't know. How do you feel like recruiting? You guys should be recruiting the state.
Well, I think that we need to start, and hopefully we have started, a feeling with the younger kids in our state. I'm talking like 8, 9-year-olds, that they want to grow up, with the desire to be a UConn Husky, not a desire to go somewhere else and play. And so if we can continue to have success on the field, and you see more and more kids wearing, UConn Husky football stuff, or more kids or youth league kids at our games, and we're doing our Husky walks before a game, there's always a few teams there with their jerseys on or their sweatshirts, and you got to make sure you give them a high five and make it a great environment for them. And then, as they start to develop and they become young men that you think can fit into your culture and contribute to your program and be winners, you need to be involved with them. The best players in this state that fit what we want to do and who we want to be, we should be in the ball game with them, and I think we have to develop that over time. And it does take some time, I think, but we got to start with the youth. And, you know, I don't ever want a good football player that's from this state to get out of this state. It's going to take a while to get that done, but I think we've made steps in the right direction. I think what's so important is that every coach in this state and every player in this state understands that, yes, UConn is interested. We are going to evaluate you. We want to build a relationship with you. We want to support you. We want to do all we can to make your job easier. We want to, you know, we want to collaborate with you. We want to have clinics and camps, and we want to see people. And even if we can't take that player, you know, if they come to our camp and there's another school here that they're exposed to and they get an opportunity elsewhere, that's great. So you just really have to cultivate that environment from an early age on. And I think we've started to do that, but it's got to be ongoing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you said you started it. I mean, Victor Rosa is one player that comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know, Victor was lights out on the high school scene. We covered him ad nauseum, you know, his senior year. Obviously, Cam Edwards is there too, and Jackson Mitchell, who you inherited,
Yeah.
who's racking up the postseason accolades. I mean, there are some good football players in Connecticut, but when you got here and you had Jackson and you know, Victor as a freshman, I mean, how impressed were you that that Victor was able to just jump right in as a true freshman and put up some pretty good numbers?
It didn't surprise me, you know. He's that kind of kid. So he was the first player I met when I got here, first recruit I met him at a basketball game, and had a feeling about him. Went to watch him play. You know, it was Victor to the left, Victor to the right, Victor up the middle. And then I always tease him because it was then Victor throwing an interception, and then Victor he threw like 4 picks in the game I went to see.
Yeah.
I've got that on him forever. And then, you know, you got Donovan's photo on your shirt there too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Look at
got
Pete
my
Winter.
Bristol boys.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. I met him the same day. And, you know, Cam Edwards is going to be a good player for us. And it didn't surprise me. You know, it didn't surprise me that Victor was going to be the guy that he is. He's a worker. He's a grinder. He's a great kid. He's got an amazing family. I mean, his mom and dad are just salt of the earth, great people, fun to talk to, supportive, you know, just, yeah, this is what you want. And, you know, we want to populate our team with the best players from this area that are, I hate always just saying the best players, because just the best people too, you know, the people that fit what we're trying to be. And it's not easy. You know, we got a lot of competition out there, but we're going to fight for guys in this state.
What do you guys just tell me a little bit about the bowl coming up in a few weeks? You know, first of all, just how excited about that, and you know, how the preparation is going to be going, and you know, what's the big plan? I guess I know you just. I'm flabbergasted. I'll be honest with you, Coach.
Are you? I'm not. You know, this was kind of a goal of ours, and we didn't talk about it a lot, but it was out there. We felt like, you know, we kind of owed it to our seniors to do all we could to get them to a bowl. So they got that experience, and they're going to get that experience. And now we got to go win it, you know, and we got to get that 7th win. And so our players understand that, and the vibe has been great here. And you know, we've been working now for 2 weeks. We took a little time off, and then we got back to practice. Heck, we've already had, you know, I think 10 practices. Now, not all those were focused on Marshall in the bowl game, but the last few have been. So we go down a week from yesterday. So we'll practice tomorrow. We'll practice Tuesday and Wednesday here. Travel down to Myrtle Beach on Thursday. Practice Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're playing Monday. Do all we can to get a win. Send these guys out with a win, and then take a little break. Get the players a little break, and then, you know, get right back at it. So
yeah, you got signing day in there too, right?
Yeah,
Somewhere.
yeah. Signing day. We have signing day on the 21st. You know, we're pretty locked up with the kids. We got a big recruiting weekend this week, and we've got about 15 or 16 kids here, both high school players and transfers. We had a couple transfers in yesterday, a couple in today, a couple in on Monday, and then a bunch of high school recruits as well this weekend. So we're busy, and it's fun, and it's good energy. And then we got the state
Yeah.
championship game.
Well, tell us about that. I mean, like, I know the CISC really wanted to go big with their finals. I mean, you look over at Foxborough, I mean, they do it for Mass. We've done it before. They wanted to do it again. I mean, how much do you play into securing a spot at Rentschler Field for 3 of the finals?
Well, here's how it happened. As I went out and went to high schools, last year around this time, what I heard from a lot of coaches, it would be so great if we could get state championships at 1 or 2 locations. Like, so we have Central Connecticut State and we have the Rent this year. And I was like, well, why don't we do that? I mean, that's what everyone does,
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's that simple, Coach.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, And so I heard that. I heard that from the state officials that run the games, and there'd been some walls put up for them, and mostly financial. And so I contacted Governor Lamont's chief of staff, Paul Mounds, and say, Paul, is there anything we can do about this? I think it's really important. I think it'll help the high school. It'll consolidate things. It'll bring everyone to, central locations. It'll be more exciting. It could potentially help us in recruiting. And it's really something that the players and the coaches deserve. They've worked for it, man. We got to do it. And Paul just took it from there. And I don't know what he did, but I know that he and Governor Lamont got it done. I'm not a big political guy. But I'm going to tell you this, everyone that's going to the Rent or Central Connecticut State for, a game, whether you're a player or a fan or a coach, a big thank you to Paul Mounds and our governor, because they're the ones that made it happen. I just kind of got the ball rolling.
How important is it to play at these venues for the high school kids?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to play in the home stadium of the state school. That's a big deal, and that's a great stadium, and it's a perfect field. I mean, the groundskeepers at the Rent are the best in the country, in my opinion, because here we are sitting on December 9th, and you're walking on that field, and it's like be walking, down the first fairway at Augusta. That's how nice they keep it, and I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And so it's a big deal, and it's a big deal to run out on that field and, feel the energy and hopefully dream of playing there, every home game someday.
Yeah, we had the press conference luncheon on Tuesday, and we were talking to the kids who were playing at UConn, and they were very excited.
Pumped.
Yeah.
They were ecstatic about having the opportunity to play there because, for a lot of them, this is it, and they're going to leave with an amazing memory. Are you guys going to be in attendance on Saturday? Are you going to be
handing
going
out
around?
coffee for the morning crew and donuts?
Some of us will be. Let me give you my schedule for tomorrow. This is where I'll be. So we practice at 7:45 wake up calls, academic meetings with recruits, alumni center tour with recruits, practice from 11 to 12:30. And then I had the basketball game with recruits. Some of our coaches will be able to attend the Connecticut State Championships. And then we've got a big thing tomorrow night. So I'm going to try to sneak down there. But like I said, I think we have 15 families and recruits on campus. So it could be pretty tough to get down there. I couldn't make it on Tuesday to the press conference because we had practice. I just kind of feel like the most important thing we can do is be as prepared as we can be for this bowl game so we can get another win, you know?
Absolutely. I thought maybe they'd let you, do the coin flip or something.
Well, they asked me to, and I'd love to, but I got these recruits, we gotta keep populating this team with good people and good players.
Absolutely. And just, quickly, I'd be remiss not to ask about our guy, John Marinelli.
He's great.
John, he was a
two-time meat grinder,
two-time guest on the show, state championship winning coach, played in this state, was an offensive coordinator for multiple state championship teams under his dad. I mean, how valuable is having a guy like Johnny who knows the Connecticut landscape, on your staff?
Well, he's critical, so he's who the stupid questions that I have in my head, I ask him. Like, okay, where do I need to go? You know, what's most important here? Or do I need to go? What's mandatory that I'm at? Who do I need to talk to? You know, where's that school?
Yeah.
You know?
Where's the best pizza?
Yeah,
Right?
where's the best pizza?
You have your favorite pizza place yet, Coach?
Uh,
I'm going to take that as a
I
no.
have a couple. I'm not going to name them.
Okay.
I got a couple that I
No
like.
free ads.
I'm going to tell you truthfully, I haven't been able to get out much at all because we've been pretty busy this year. So
and it shows, Coach. Shows.
You know what I even did on Saturday night? I was home. My wife was out of town. It was about 9 o'clock. I was craving pizza, but I didn't want to go anywhere. I went with Domino's. Now, is that sacrilegious in this state, or like did I just kill myself?
It depends. You're not near New Haven, so
Right.
like I think we could give you a pass.
We'll give him a pass.
Well, you gotta give me credit for at least going with pizza, right?
Yeah, I mean,
No, he's on campus.
yeah,
That is it. That's all right. You're on campus. I get it. I'm with you on that. I had plenty of Domino's when I was an undergrad. So I mean, all right, you're not an undergrad anymore, but you listen, you're pulling all-nighters, I'm sure, over there.
Yeah, and they were the only one that would deliver at that time. So that's what I went with.
that's fair. Well, if you ever do want to do wings, not that this is a free ad, but you got to make your way to J. Timothy's. All I'm saying in Plainville. That's the best wings in the entire state.
Is
Coach,
that right?
if you keep this up, Coach, I'm sure they'll be laying out the pizza, all the pizza wings you could want if you guys keep this up. Win a bowl game, and then start making your. I mean, you've done an amazing job so far, and I think you can see it right. The other kids, the people are excited about it, and I don't know what else to say, but go get them.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, it's been a heck of a year, not just the 6 and 6, because for me, and I think for us, that's got to be the bare minimum, from now on. But I think for me personally, it's just been being here at UConn, around these people, around these players, around this state, getting to know it, better than I ever have, feeling the energy. Yeah, it's been, I've coached a long time. I've said this for the last few months now, and that was before the season. It's been the most rewarding job I've had, challenging, but rewarding and fun. I'm sometimes I get a little grumpy. I've been pretty happy, and it's not because of the wins and losses, just because of the environment here.
Yeah.
So.
I'll tell you, I remember when I was in high school and you were coaching Michael Vick and the Falcons. Yeah. And I was telling Sean before we logged on, I was like, I remember where I was when you won the divisional game in 2005, and Vick had like 120 rushing yards. And now like you're coaching UConn, and it's incredible to see, because I know that, that it adds a lot of, name recognition to the program. And I have friends, I went to college here. I'm originally from New York. I have friends who are huge UConn fans who text me every Saturday when UConn won. And they're like, Pete, they're coming back. Here they come. Here they come. And it's really great to see.
It's really interesting because, when you come into a place like this and you do some things that haven't been done in a while, people kind of heap praise on you. And like, I don't necessarily respond to that as well as that, because I want people to understand like how grateful I am to have this opportunity. It's like I said, it's been unique. It's been awesome. And I'm really grateful that I'm here. And that's genuine. I'm not just saying that because we're sitting here talking on a pod. It's just because it's the way I really feel. Like, I'm doing my job. I'm doing what I love to do. I'm doing what I'm getting paid to do and supposed to do and expect us to win. But it's just like, I don't know, I'm just grateful. And that's a good feeling to have, It's a kind of a calming feeling to have. So I'm very lucky. Very lucky.
Well, this is I mean, everything's laid out for us here. We got championships this weekend. You guys are preparing for a bowl game. We got basketball, like you said. It's how quickly things have kind of like really on the up and up right now. So we appreciate you giving us a little time here. I know you're very busy, but
I enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, we appreciate it. And go get them later on this month, and we'll see you down the road. We'll see you out of the field. Certainly.
Yeah,
Take
good
care.
luck.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
So, Pete, Jim Mora, very excited. That was fun. Glad you got that done. It's not going to be part of the regular meet, but let's put in the championships. Guys, full. We got finals at the Rent. I mean, it's a football celebration in this state. 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. How about that?
Yeah, not bad. No, it's exciting. It's like we spoke with Coach Mora about, kind of the rumblings at Tuesday's luncheon of the excitement, from the players who are going to be able to play at UConn and even Central. And I think it's great. I think, it's not a knock against Willowbrook in New Britain or Trumbull High School. But having the state championships at facilities like this, I think is what these championship teams deserve. And it's great that I loved his reaction of, whoa, wait, we don't do this. Everywhere else does it.
Yeah.
What is in our way? Like, this should be a simple fix. And you know what? He made it a simple fix. And that's really exciting, to have someone come in here and have that on his mind to say, we need to fix this. We need to give our high school athletes, a championship, facility for the championship game.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree that they should. I agree that they should be here. I liked it when they were at UConn the first time. The first 3 years we did it. I thought it was fine. I mean, people say, "Oh, the atmosphere." When you get enough people in the stands there, like Xavier and NFA showed up those years. I thought it was pretty good. Is it intimate like West Haven or Boyle Stadium? No, I mean, but at least, you can maybe go back to those places if we need to. I don't know if we can sustain the 6 titles at the big venues. So we'll have to see where that leads us. But, we'll see how it goes this weekend. But, the kids were all excited. Like you mentioned, everyone who were going to Rentschler, they were excited. I know that Central's also, been a venue in the past, and, it's also good. I mean, it's not the cavernous stadium, so maybe it's a little more intimate. Maybe they got that advantage. So either way, I think both title sites are fine. And I like this idea. I mean, maybe, one day we'll consolidate it. Who knows? But I think those guys, whoever got it done, Jim and, the governor and Paul Mounds, good job. I mean, I think the kids really, really want to be here, and they really want to feel like, they're playing in a mega game, the game to end all games, right? And if they're in the state championship, there's got to be a goal. We got to have something like Whale or whatever it is now, Quinnipiac or Mohegan. I think the CIAC recognizes that, and I think they've done a good job in securing these sites. So
absolutely.
So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thanks for Jim Mora for coming on with us. I'll be at Rentschler, so maybe I'll try and pick his brain a little bit further, but maybe hopefully maybe I can steer him toward modern pizza. Maybe see him there. That's my favorite place, but I don't know. But anyway, like I said, they'll get a lot of he'll get whatever he wants if he's able to keep this up with UConn. But anyway, Pete, thanks for putting that together, man. Yeah,
absolutely. It was one of the big ones. There's a couple of white whales out there that I would like to get for this show, and he was on the list. So I'm glad we were able to get him. And maybe we can make this a yearly thing. Who knows?
Yeah, a little State of the Union, so to speak.
Yeah.
State of the state. But if you haven't, please go check out the latest Meat Grinder episode. We preview all of the state championship games with little vignettes and interviews with all the players and coaches involved. And then we make our picks for the state finals. We already made you can always see our picks on all the capsules we have on GameTimeCT.com. We also have stories about key players on every single team that's involved. That's 12 teams. If you don't realize, it's 12 teams now. It's a lot of work to do championship weekend now. Not that it's never been, but especially now with 6 titles. So make sure you check all that stuff on GameTimeCT, and then we'll have wall-to-wall coverage, blanket coverage, whatever you want to call it, throughout the finals this weekend. And then we move on to picking all state teams, Pete. And we are almost at the end. So thanks for joining us, everybody. For Pete Paguaga, I'm Patrick Bowley. This has been the Meat Grinder on GameTimeCT.
Love you all.